There we go. Hi, Tammy.
Hi, hi. I'm trying to figure out how to get a different background than
Yeah, me too.
I am, but I'm going to make a little adjustments in my room. We'll see how it goes.
You can start now.
Hi, everyone. This is Tammy Mullen from NextJob, Chief Marketing Officer, and I hope everyone is in the webinar. Today, we're going to talk about how to future-proof your workforce and share with you information on a benefit as a 501 member that is yours to access completely free. And give you some updates on what's been happening with the reemployment solution that is attached to your unemployment program as well. So with me, I have Paul Zurich. Do you want to introduce yourself, Paul?
Hi, everybody. I am the account manager with 501 from NextJob, and I can help, especially during this webinar, but anytime, my contact information will be here. If you're interested in learning more about what we do, how we do it, or if you want to get started, please contact me and we can get started. Or you can, talk to 501 directly and they can make that connection. But we can get you rolling very quickly.
So from an agenda perspective, what we wanted to talk about today was why reemployment is important for you. Again, I'd like to say up front that this is free to 501 members. It is part of helping control your unemployment costs. So we're going to take you through and talk about kind of what it is a little bit and why it's important. We're going to show you how to access the services, who do you contact, that kind of thing. And then Paul is going to walk us through kind of an update that we've done on the platform so you can get a little preview of a piece of the service. And we even have a demo code here at the end that you can utilize to go in and check out the software piece of the solution as well. So first, why reemployment? Why is it important to members of 501? Well, we've done a lot of research at NextJob and really have uncovered a career literacy gap in the US. People, in terms of their ability to look for new jobs, have struggled. Most people are coming at this from a D+ average in terms of, their ability to write a resume, interview well, do networking, things of that nature. And that does not seem to change no matter what the economy is. People still struggle. In fact, right now, we're seeing a third of employees exhaust their unemployment benefits. And we're seeing duration of unemployment remain higher than it's ever been in the past. Usually when we have a better economy, you start to see duration of unemployment go down, but it has not gone down. And a lot of people are out of work and don't really know what to do. So how does this affect you? This service you can offer to your separated employees that are leaving your organization. And again, as a member of 501, that is paid for by 501. And it really attacks the portion of your unemployment costs that have traditionally been seen as a sunk cost. 60% of unemployment separations or claims are non-protestable, meaning that charges are going to be spent. So what this service does is it really helps you reduce the duration of unemployment for the service so that you can reduce those costs. In terms of the value of reemployment, the service that we have and that we're using, that 501 is using for their members, reduces unemployment costs as much as 30% or more. Right now, charges are pretty high in the US. So a 30% reduction in charges can take your average charges down by about $2,000. So it's very much worth it to utilize the service. But there's a lot of other aspects to the value in terms of, other employment claims, getting people on a positive path while they're on the way out of your organization can really kind of help get them moving in a good, positive future rather than looking back at kind of where they were. From a brand reputation perspective, community goodwill is really important for our nonprofit organizations. Remaining team morale, retention, I know is a big thing for those individuals that are staying. And overall just reduces the stress, the manager stress, HR stress of having to let someone go. So what is the solution? We really have like a three-pronged approach to how do we help someone get back to work. That involves one-on-one coaching with a dedicated career coach, anyone who is who gets a coaching package, and there's some requirements in terms of who gets coaching versus who doesn't, which I'll cover, but they get assigned a coach, a one-on-one coach that proactively sets calls and meetings with them, helps them create a job search plan, helps them through and is available 24/7 really, whenever they have a problem that comes up, whenever they have a question. That coach also is working behind the scenes with some of the other aspects of the program, including the job club webinars, workshops, and the online job search system that Paul's going to show you, to really see where people are struggling, to help make assignments on how to move along the path to gainful employment and maybe even be in a better position than they were when they left their current organization. The job club webinars are fantastic. These are group coaching sessions, workshops, where we have coaches that are online and do online workshop with individuals over a specific topic, like writing a 30-second commercial. So individuals will come out of that really kind of with their 30-second commercial, something tangible that they can use in their job search. And then the online job search system piece really kind of pulls it all together with the ability to go through training from start to finish on how to build your job search plan, how to target employers, how to write a resume. There's a great resume builder in there that Paul is going to show you, all the way through to success in your new job. How do you go in and be successful on day one? So those are some of the, the key elements to the program. If there's any questions from the group, feel free to chat those in or put the questions in, and we'll be happy to answer those. In terms of how does it work, how do you gain access to it? As a member of 501, you are identifying upcoming separations. If you can get in touch with 501 early, that's even better to get access to a lot of the pamphlets and the information that's available to deliver to your separated employee. Gather contact information, length of employment, full-time versus part-time. That'll help in terms of 501 understanding what you're eligible for. And there is a 3-day eligibility evaluation turnaround. When it's determined what part of the service you're eligible for, you'll get letters for your employees that you can hand, where they'll have an access code where they can log in and gain access to the system. And also service description flyers are available to you as well, so you can hand these out to employees to show them what they are eligible for. On the NextJob side, what we'll do is we'll set up that member in our system. We will upload the information related to your employees, and we will start calling, phone calling, emailing to try to engage them in the service, give them a brief overview of kind of what the service is all about, so they can decide whether or not it's right for them. Again, this is paid for. We would not be asking your employee for any money whatsoever. This is a solution that is supporting and being supported through 501. What the member has is access to monthly reporting, where we'll show you how people are doing in terms of getting back on their feet and getting jobs as well. Any questions so far on that you'd like to chat in about? Okay, so in terms of completing the application process, like I mentioned, 501 will evaluate eligibility. You can hear my dog in the background. The eligibility status really depends on how long a separated employee has been with you. Coaching is generally available if you have someone that you're letting go that is full-time and has been there greater than a year. Don't worry though, if the person has been there less than a year and is part-time, they are able to access the online piece and the weekly workshops. So everybody gets something. So definitely send in that application and find out what you can offer to your employees as part of this service. And unless there's any questions, I will turn it back over to Paul to talk about the new updated online platform and what's available through there.
Yes, thank you, Tammy. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for having us today. I want to hop up real quick just to our the reemployment solution page for 1 second. So today we're just going to cover the online job search system, which it's an aspect of a piece of what we provide, but the value that's here is there's going to be a lot of stuff that we cover, but it's important to know that there's a lot of topics, and not every part of it is for everyone, but there's something in there for everyone. Even if you have we just placed a CHRO who lost a job at a quite large company in the Midwest, and she thought for sure, I know what I'm doing. I know how to search for a job. I hire all the time. There's support that people need, even if they're at the, you know, in the know in the hiring world. So this is just one piece of the work that we do, and we're going to kind of go through in some detail about what we're doing. But what's neat about NextJob is we are a 100% remote company. We get to see each other in person quite a bit, but the team, we are remote, and as a result we get to spend a lot of time really digging into numbers and looking at things nationwide because we're all over. And I've never been so, I've worked at organizations, at sales organizations, that people are proud of this thing of being, you know, really being granular and being data nerds. We really honestly are data nerds, and in the best ways possible. We built this entire job search system with data and feedback and being able to achieve success by using data. This isn't just shots in the dark. This is honest, good work that is built to make sure that the people who are your employees are being taken very well care of. So as we're going, if you do have questions about the software, let me know, and I'm happy to stop if you have a question you want to ask out loud, or if you just want to chat in, whatever it is, and I'll stop and answer any questions. Also, my contact information will be at the end. Anytime, call, email, talk to us on LinkedIn, or talk with 501, and we can really dig in on this. So the job search system, we tried to build it around, and so we had an older version that we just updated in the last few months here. During the pandemic, it was clear that we needed to make something that was more accessible to more people, so that they weren't having to go to the library if they didn't have a computer at home. Almost everybody has, you know, one of these sitting at their house now, so they can pick up their smartphone and they can go through all the programming that we have built into this, and almost all of it works just the same as it would on a computer. It's just optimized for your phone. So we have all of these different pieces that you can build. something like the resume, you might do better building it on a computer because it's a little bit bigger, but we can talk about it. We'll talk about that in a minute. The idea around the job search system is built around the teach, show, do approach. So we teach how to do something, and then we show how it's done, piece by piece, and then we allow the job seeker to do it on their own. So we try to make it simple, straightforward, and accessible for everyone. There's aspects of that you can read, there are videos, there are interactive pieces, and we try to build it so that absolutely everybody and every style of learning can use this system to help them with that one component of the software to find a new job. Now, teamed up with the webinars, the weekly webinars, and the coach, between those three things, people find work very, very quickly. And this is one aspect of this that we're happy to share with you so that you can learn more about it. The job search training system is very interactive. There are videos, there's icons, the polish is very good so that it feels like an app that somebody is using, and it's up to date. It's not like going to your one-stop system and clicking around on links and trying to find where you're going. This is intuitive and it's easy to follow, and there are check marks to show you the status of where you are and where you need to go for your next step, especially if your coach gave you homework or there's something specific that you're looking to work on. So here's I wanted to show the resume builder right up front here because this is part of that teach, show, do. So first we show what happens with a resume, how do the components come together, and then we go into the next section. So this is what a resume could look like, and then at the bottom there's a resume builder that the individual person the employee can go in and build their resume. And at the end of this, they're going to have a resume that is presentable and is well polished and looks very good. In most cases, this resume will be ready to go into the wild on its own, and the person can use this without any additional support. However, a lot of times the coaches will want to take a look at this just to make sure that the wording, because this isn't necessarily structuring the job titles and things like that. So a job coach can help sharpen the resume, but this gets the individual job seeker a good chunk, 90% of the way, and that's a big part of the process.
The other thing I want to point out, Paul, in terms of resumes, yeah, the resume builder is great because it takes out of the individual's hands worries, especially about formatting. We've seen a lot of resumes get kicked out from the big job board sites, mostly because the scanners that they have now can't read them. So this does all the formatting for them. And as the individual is going through the training, they are kind of learning how to build a great resume with that teach, show, do methodology. So they're getting training on how to match their keywords to the job description, how to present themselves and give accomplishments based answers or bullet points to the jobs that they've done in the past. So a lot of times we'll see people wanting to use their own resume, and that's fine generally, but we like to say, keep it simple. Make sure you've got something that's going to go through the systems, employer platforms out there, and then use the fancy one for when you're sitting across the desk at someone, especially for our marketing folks that like to do a lot of design work on things.
Yeah. And with that, the sort of the best practices are built into the layout. It kind of goes back and forth. How much information should you share? Should you be sharing your address, and should you be sharing how far back in your history, your work history, should you share? And that's sort of built into the resume builder. It's because we want to make sure people are getting the best jump start with any of the organizations that they're applying to. So with the reason I show the resume builder first, because it's clear to see that teach, show, do aspect of NextJob training. It's a nice piece to see that's there. When the learning dashboard is sort of the it's exactly that. It's the hub for where you're going to start for where the job seeker looks. They know that they need to get their resume complete, but there might be other things that the coach wants them to, complete before they're ready to go into the resume. So they may say, maybe get your plan together first. And I'm not sure if you can see my cursor here when I'm circling stuff, but it's a good way to know exactly where you are and what needs to happen before you jump into any specific area. And the coach can help. The individual coaches will help build that plan for where they want to go, and they know what they need to do, and homework will be assigned for and I say homework, I use the term very loosely. If the person's not comfortable with something, the coach can help really dig in on something, but the entire system is built to sort of be as strenuous or as difficult as the individual wants to make it. So it's not built to be really hard, but it's to help push and expand the person's skill set so that when they're ready to move into something like resume, career direction, or even starting to contact employers, which is down here, they're ready for it. Because a lot of times, as we're going to talk about, there's jobs that are visible jobs that are on job boards and places that you can see that are on websites and things like that. But then the other side is hidden jobs and learning about how uh, the hidden job world works, because a lot of times they're not posted, they're not published anywhere. It's just you have to know someone and you have to have a good network, or you have to ask about it. And this is that module really takes the individual through what needs to happen to search for those hidden jobs, for example. So that we have everything set up in this job search system to have sort of small wins, and there's a certain degree of gamification so that you get that sense of accomplishment as you go through. So as you finish different sections, you get that check mark and you know how much is left. So it's easy to set those goals either on your own or with your coach. For the most part, this isn't standalone, but once in a while we do have individuals that are working just with the software. So it shows you what you've done and what you need to do to complete that module, so that once you are making your way through, it's clear that you've done everything you need to do uh, to make sure that you're ready for the next step, whether it's applying or building your resume, whatever it is. But every time there's examples and there's samples, and we have a lot of videos and audio built into it so that you can learn in a lot of different ways. And this is an update from our old version, in that the check boxes, for those of you who have used it, the check boxes on the right that you see here, that updates live. So as you're moving through, it shows you what you need to do, not just what's next, but what you've actually accomplished already. We know that in the job search world, goal setting is really, really important. And it's not just I'm gonna set a goal, like my goal is to get a job. Let's make smaller goals that are achievable individually and one at a time, so that you can figure out all the little aspects, the pieces of everything that need to happen between I don't have a job today to in 2 months I have a job that I love and I've never been happier in my career. What needs to happen between those two places? And the goal creating system is really helpful in figuring out helping the individual figure out what they need to do, either uh, by taking a personality test, building target jobs, learning about different ways of handling interview questions. But also really important things is to figure out what are you from the personality assessment, what do you want, like what do you want to do? I just got off of a call with our coaches, who every time our coaches speak, I learn a huge amount, and I love to listen to the different ways that they approach things like searching for jobs and especially with the assessments. They were talking to somebody who was working in sales, and the job seeker said, well, I don't think I'm supposed to be in sales. And after the personality assessment went through, it turned out they were somebody who is always looking for ways to be innovative. And they said, you are a natural salesperson based on your assessment. And the person said, oh, okay, so I understand why. Maybe I just need to do it at a different organization or in a way that I hadn't done it before. So you can sort of help the individual. The system helps the individual figure out what they're doing, where they want to go and what they need to do to get there. And it's small, achievable goals and not just big, lofty goals that will take a long time to get to. So it just makes it a little bit more bite-sized pieces. And it's the whole the way you eat the elephant is one bite at a time, and it's not just eating it all at once. That's a big piece for us. And determining your
So,
career direction is one of the first ones, because a lot of times people have been working in a job that isn't the perfect fit for them. It's not something that they love doing. They just did it because they fell into it after they left, finished college, after they were out of the service, whatever it is. I hear this really often. Oh, I just fell into this role and I've been here for 25 years and I love it, or I hated it the whole time, whatever it is. This career direction aspect allows the person to step back for a second, pause, take a couple of breaths, and figure out, what do I want to do? What is it that makes me tick? And again, those check marks sort of help the person work their way through this, because it is as intense as the person wants it to be, but it can be an intense experience learning that maybe you haven't been in the right spot for for your career. So sometimes this is really helpful, and that career direction is the piece that um, that I think is maybe one of the first pieces here. There's going to be some reflection ahead of this, but these are the personality system. Personality assessment is built on the ability to just pick A or B. So you can see the option here: be valued for your common sense or be valued for your imagination. Which one do you like better? And it doesn't give you the ability to say, I like these equally. You have to pick one. And based on that, as you move through, it really helps a person discover what are their interests, what makes them tick, and where do they want to be. So it's really helpful, and it's healthy for individuals to spend time going through this and to learn more about what they want to do before they make jumps to the next step. Uh, we talked quite a bit about effective resumes, and the reason we talk about resumes here is because, okay, now we've done all that personality assessment and we've done the career direction and the goals. Now we need to write an effective resume specific for the type of job that you're looking to get. If you're looking to get a job in as a job coach, you might want to put in there that you have experience with human resources, or you have an idea of experience with what you've done in the past that is specifically toward hiring or something like that. And this can help based on your experience. You can hear my children in the background today who have a half day from school today because they have parent teacher conferences. But the whole system is built around making sure that you have a resume that is unique to you, but is tailored to the type of job that you're looking to get. It's relevant, it's accomplish-based resume, and it also builds out who you are as an individual and why you would be a good fit for that role. And this is an update because a lot in the past, if you worked with NextJob prior to this current update, you would just see a couple of little pieces here where we're focusing much more on experience, and this is to a certain extent sort of been updated for a post-COVID world where a lot of times people might be remote employees, and we're seeing a reduction in that remote aspect, but it's still a big part of jobs. And if you probably know well, but a lot of these jobs that are on jobs boards, still probably 30 to 40%, depending on where you are still giving people the opportunity to at least be hybrid remote, which is it's a big change from just a few years ago. We talked about visible jobs versus the invisible job market. And why this matters is because you approach these two types of jobs in a very, very different way. And visible jobs, it's always good to have a network. If you can be referred to a job by an employee or somebody who you know that works there, it's helpful because it just gives you a leg up over all of the other just faceless resumes that are out there. But the visible job market, they're going to be seeing a lot of resumes, and there might be a lot of competition. There is a piece of this that the coaches can help sort of make sure that you're visible and people see you very quickly, as opposed to the hidden job market, where this is where you need to have a strong network, and you need to target specific employers who might be able to help the individual figure out clearly you're a good fit. Let's see how we can get you in here, because a lot of times there's somebody who is, you can tell somebody is just the employee that you want to have working for you, but it might be tricky to get them figure out where they're going to go. So maybe your resume just sits on somebody's desk for a few weeks until you figure it out. But getting in there either via network or identifying specific employers that you'd like to work for, that's another piece that our coaches are really, really good at helping develop a strategy for, because it's a lot of times people think that they know how to apply for jobs, but there might be pieces that are new, or it might be 10 years since the last time a job seeker searched for a job. So a lot changes in that little bit of time. This is one that I always think is really, really important, and I have a personal story with this. One of our coaches, his name is Greg, is so terrific. He is so supportive, and I have made a lot of recommendations for people to work with him through NextJob. And my mom, who keeps thinking, oh, I want to retire. She was she worked at the University of Connecticut and Kent State and Oregon Health and Sciences University as a dean, and she loved it the whole way through. But then she was getting close to 70 and said, I don't think I want to work anymore. So she tried to retire. She retired for about 15 minutes and said, I want to go back to work. And so she actually retired a couple times and said, kept wanting to go back to work. But as she approached 70, she felt that she might be having some issues with ageism, which is, it's a real tough word. I connected her with one of our coaches after 4 or 5 interviews that she was unsuccessful with, and I know for a fact that she was struggling on the interview side because she hadn't interviewed for jobs in years. Excuse me. And so much had changed. So I connected her with our coach Greg, and in just a few sessions, they had everything straightened out, and she had a job that she loves now, and she will likely stay there. She's the director of nursing research for Hartford Healthcare, which she loves as sort of a retirement job because she can write and do all the things she loves. But to get there, she needed to figure out what she was doing wrong in the interviews. And I think she may have gone the emotion route a little bit too early. It's hard to say, but I'm always appreciative for having Greg on our team, because as soon as she said she struggled in the interview, I knew exactly what was going on. And for some reason that was stopping her. She had no problem getting to the interview. It was getting through the interview. So that's a piece that's really cool.
Paul, I think that's a big thing. So we see a lot of we see a lot of job seekers struggle in this area. And we've had, a lot of the coaches will do mock interviews with
Yes.
their job seeker as well. They'll enlist other coaches to come in as, like a new person to do a mock interview with the job seekers. So we do a lot and focus a lot of energy on how to help individuals kind of interview well and understand what they should be sharing, what they might not want to share, and how to really target and focus in on the interview. It's a very key area for us.
And that's an important thing to note, Tammy. We do focus a lot on the interview because it is such an important part of this. We have job seekers all the time who are sitting outside of their interview. They're having a panic attack or whatever it is. They text, they call, they email. Hey, Greg, I just want to let you know I'm sitting outside this interview. I'm freaking out, whatever it is. I'm nervous about something. And the coach can remind them, do you remember we did X, Y, and Z to prepare for this exact thing? And they sort of remind them, give them that encouragement so that when they go into the interview, they have that confidence that they need, because interviewing is such an important part. Some people look good on paper. Some people are great. Everybody's a great employee in the right role, but some people look good on paper. Some people do better in person, and you just need to find the right mix of what it is that makes your presentation the strongest. So with the interview piece, we have the practice mock interview tool. This is, of the new features we have on the online job search system, this is my favorite. So this is our interviewer here on top. The job seeker can push the play button and listen to his questions. So he's like, well, can you tell me about yourself? And then it stops, the question stops, and he sort of sits there and nods. It's just it's a computer at that point. But you record yourself listening to the question, and then it records your response to tell me about yourself, or what were you doing in your last role? And there are multiple questions. Then the job seeker can go back with their coach or on their own and listen to their answer and figure out, what is it that I'm doing that makes me look really good? Or are there things that I need to work on for my interview so that when I'm there in person, I can have a quick, concise answer that gets who I am across quickly in an effective way that makes them want to hire me. This is a really, really cool tool that we are so proud of, and we get a lot of very positive feedback for it. And then the last piece is, there we go, is to help individuals once they have found their new job to make sure that they're successful in their new role. So what do you need to do to make sure that you are a good team member and you are contributing and you're sort of achieving in a way that makes makes you proud, makes your coach proud, and what you can do to be the best employee possible. So there's a whole module on this with your new job and what you can do to be the most effective employee, and it really gets people so that the stickiness of that role increases, so that that person is there and just ready to kick some butt. So that is the last of our slides. I know we covered a lot here today, and I've been talking the whole time, but if you do have questions, I'm happy to answer questions, and Tammy here is here as well. We can answer questions for as long as you need, but then also, if you would like to give NextJob, the online system, a try, if you go to nextjobtraining.com and you use access code 501 try NextJob, you'll have free access to the system. You can click around, you can play with it. It's an active account, so you can do everything that you'll want to do. You can try it just like a job seeker would. And then if you have questions, please contact us, or you can also talk to your contact at 501.
So it doesn't look like we have any questions so far, but I do want to reiterate that this is a free service to 501 members. So this is available for your separated employees and easy to access through the application process. Some best practice tips: the sooner you can get information over, the sooner we can get started helping someone, the better. But definitely, if you have not been utilizing this, or you have not utilized this in the past, I definitely suggest it, because it is available to you free of charge. Get those applications in, and if you have any questions, like Paul indicated, we are happy to answer questions, or you can contact 501 with questions as well regarding this service and how to apply. So I see, now I see we've got some questions in here. Okay, thank you, Susan. Susan says that you have used the service in the past, and it was nice to see what the former employees experience. Yes, we love our 501 job seekers. And then there's another question here from Stacy. Yes, so we are giving out this information to the individuals that are separated. So these are services that are available for any of your separated employees, anyone that you have to lay off, let go. Generally speaking, it's used for folks that have been let go through no fault of their own. But yes, they can access that and access these resources through 501.
Yeah, and Stacy, if you are interested, the best way to get your individual employees started is to connect with Gary. So that, because we have to set up an application, get an application set up through 501, but then that way they'll have access to the online job search system, and they should have access to all of the coaching and the weekly webinars as well.
Right, and as a reminder, everybody gets something. So any employee that you are separating is, there are options available to them. if they have been working less than a year or are part-time, they'll gain access to the online job search platform, which you can see is very robust, as well as the weekly webinar workshops. And then contact information. So Stacy is asking, can you give contact information here for Gary? Is that what you're asking?
I was about to ask that same question.
Okay. So what you can do, Stacy, is if you go to the handouts piece, you can download that handout. Everybody can download the handout that's in there. And in that handout is this complete presentation, and you'll have all of the contact information that you need. So hopefully that helps. Any other questions or any other chats that you'd like to put in? Does this sound like something that you'd like to use for your employees? If you've used it in the past, kind of chat in and let others know how it's gone, or let us know if you have any other questions.
Stacy, the handout should be on the on the right side of your screen. There should be or wherever you have the dashboard for the control panel for the go-to meeting, you should be able to click on the drop down, and there's a handout drop down there that you should be able to access the PDF. If not, let me know and I can send it over to you directly.
Okay, so let's just put in Paul's email, and if you have a question here, I'm going to put that in, Paul. He can send it to you separately.
Yep.
If I can figure out how to do this. No, I can't. I do not. There we go. So Stacy, I think I just sent you his email. We do not use GoToWebinar a lot, so.
Yeah. We're normally a Zoom organization, but we're happy to jump around.
And I'm going to chat it in too, so that you have it there as well.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Okay, well then, really appreciate your time here today. I think this is a recorded session. So I think that will be available as well. And again, if there's anything that you need from us, please feel free to contact us with any questions in the future. And Stacy, yeah, we'll email the PDF.
Yeah, we will email it to you. Okay, well, thanks everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate it.
Have a good day.